What if your passion for baking could build a six-figure business and even land you in the royal spotlight? Today's guest turned flour, sugar, and grit into a multi-million pound success, and now she's helping others do the same. Today on the Pauline Chilton Show, we're joined by someone who proves that creativity, consistency, and a sprinkle of boldness can take you from kitchen table to global recognition. Meet Jenny Gilson, an award-winning pastry chef turned cake business owner whose journey includes making a cake for King Charles and Camilla, generating over 2 million pounds in sales, and building a thriving company from scratch. After selling her successful cake business, Jenny pivoted into coaching and is now on a mission to help bakers and cake makers grow their businesses with confidence using her proven systems and heartfelt support. If you're building a business around your passion or want to, this conversation is for you. Hi, Jenny. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Pauline. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
It's an absolute pleasure.
You started your cake business back in 2004 from your kitchen. What do you remember most about those early days before the awards and TV appearances?
Oh, goodness. So going right back into the archives here. So I just had my first son. I was 23. I'd had many years of working in a kitchen, well, almost 10 years. So I started in the first kitchen when I was 13. And I'd really worked my way through my trade. And after I had my first son, it was the perfect time to take that time to build a business, because as we know, building a business takes a bit of time, right? So what do I remember? Hard work, but absolute passion and determination to make it work.
Great. At what moment did you realize this wasn't just a side hustle, but something that could actually become a six-figure business?
When I put my mind to something, I absolutely go all in. So I think even from the beginning, even as a 23-year-old who had a child that was a few months old, I knew that this was going to be something big because I wanted it to be big. I'm very ambitious. So I was kind of always lined up for that, really, to be honest.
And you've mentioned baking in a church kitchen before opening your own shop. How did that phase shape your growth, and what made you decide to take that next big leap?
I think it was opening every cupboard in my home kitchen and there being something to do with cakes in there. So, bags of chocolate, flour, butter, eggs, cake tins everywhere. And I thought I need to move this out of my home and I need to be able to expand and have the space. And I just didn't have the space at home. So I was really lucky that there was a local church who had a fantastic kitchen that I could slot really easily into. And I went in there a couple of days a week to do all of my baking and decorating. So it wasn't really a huge leap, or it didn't feel like a huge leap, because it was a really nice interim step. They didn't charge me too much to hire. I had loads of space. I didn't have the kids running around. And it was a real separate space. I think that a lot of bakers and makers, actually, people that make crafty things, they will resonate with having a business in your home with products really kind of takes over quite quickly. So it was a bit of it was a needs must, really.
I can relate to that because I've got products that we sell that is supporting the podcast, and it quickly took over my office and my kitchen. And now we have a closet dedicated just to those items. And it's still a challenge just making sure to keep everything organized and nice and neat and not cluttering up the whole house.
Yeah.
We've talked about the anniversary cake you made for King Charles and Camilla. Can you take us back to the moment you got that call from Buckingham Palace?
Yeah, so I had been really lucky to receive a business loan and a mentor from the Prince's Trust, which is the charity that then Prince Charles was in charge of. And he's really involved, or was really involved in that charity. So I spoke to my mentor and they said, why don't you ask the palace if there's anything that you can do? Because I really wanted, it really helped me in the start of my business. And I really wanted to say thank you. So I asked if I could send a Christmas gift, and they said, no, we get so many Christmas gifts, but we would love you to make their first wedding anniversary cake. So it was a really bizarre moment, from the morning of not knowing that I was going to get this call or have this call, to then having to kind of plot out what was I going to make, what kind of design and how was I going to get it there, and all of the kind of logistics of it.
That opportunity coming from being part of the Princess Trust, what did that experience teach you about creating your own luck and saying yes before you're ready?
Oh my goodness, yeah, we absolutely have the opportunities hidden everywhere, and whether we have the confidence to see them or the get up and go to go and see them, I truly believe that every person has opportunities, and it's putting your mindset into a place where you can go, dream big. There's never a dream that is too big, and just taking those opportunities, lining them up for yourself. And as you say, saying yes before you're ready. There's so many points across my career that I've had these opportunities because I've made them for myself, but then I may not know how to implement them or how it's going to go, but figure it out, say yes and then figure it out.
You've helped so many cake makers launch and grow their own businesses. What's the real thing that holds most people back from getting started?
Do you know what? 99.9% of the time it's mindset. It's the thoughts around those little mindset gremlins, I call them. It's the thought around there's too much competition out there, I can't do it, I'm not skilled enough, I don't have enough business knowledge. It's all internal. So once we get past those things, people achieve massive things because we hold ourselves back. And that's one of the things about my Sweet As Success Club, is that it's all about cheering each other on. So when somebody comes in and goes, oh, I'm a bit nervous about this cake, or what does anyone think about this? The whole community just comes together and they just go, come on, you can do this. And it's saying yes, and it's keeping your mindset in the right place.
You often ask your clients, what's your dream and what's stopping you? What are some surprising answers you've heard, and how do you help them move through that?
I would say the biggest one is probably there's too many people out there. So during COVID, a lot of people retrained and they used the fantastic videos on YouTube to kind of self-taught bakers. There's a load of self-taught bakers out there. So people say, there's too many other people that are doing it. But I'm really focused on getting people to know their niche, or niche, I think you guys call it in America. So, you can make there's so many different skills out there, so much knowledge, but nobody is going to be you, and nobody is going to bring what you bring to the market. So that's probably the most common one. The most surprising one, I guess, people saying that they don't have the space, but, as I've spoken about already, if you want it enough, you will absolutely make it happen.
That's so, so true. You've created a lifestyle where you can finish work and be by the sea or the forest minutes later. Was that intentional? And what did it take to build a business around the life you really wanted?
Yeah, absolutely. It was intentional. And that's that's my word of 2025, intentional. So when I built the cake business, and I just got to a place, I went through a bit of a horrible divorce, and I got to a place where I was like, what do I really want from life? I'd spent so many years focusing on building business and growing my family that I was like, what do I want? What do I want from life? So I sold the business and I moved 100 miles away from anyone that I knew, really for this calling just to be by the sea. And I got a bonus, which is also being by the forest. So I'm by the New Forest on the south coast of England, which is just the most beautiful place with wild ponies and donkeys roaming around. And then, as you say, I can be from my desk and I love sea swimming, so in the sea within about half an hour. And that for me is absolutely the dream. We often put off our dreams until we retire or until things get a bit better. But, if we're always putting things off, nobody knows. Life is short. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. So I'm absolutely of the thinking that you just got to go for it and make it work and make it happen.
That's amazing. Tell us about the global community you're building now. What makes this more than just a course, and how are you hoping it will change lives?
So when I started to get into the coaching world, I realised that there was a lot of really great technique skills. So, YouTube, there's so many great tutors out there, and there's a lot of cake coaches as well. And there's a lot of cake communities. So people that are asking for advice on pricing, on various different designs, how would you do this? But I realised there wasn't a place for all three of those things together. So the community is built on three pillars. So it's knowledge, business knowledge. So everything from SEO on your website through to mindset, as we've spoken about, pricing, marketing, all of the really important stuff that a lot of bakers don't know, or they don't get their head around till a bit later on. And then the skills training. So people might go to one tutor for something or another tutor for something else, but actually we've got it all under one roof in Sweet Success Club. And then finally, what I found with a lot of the communities was that there was a bit of a bad atmosphere. So people were asking genuine questions and people were coming back with some really unkind comments. And I thought, no, not under my watch. So we're going to have a really supportive place, real cheerleaders, people that want you to succeed as much as they want themselves to succeed, and just have a really safe space. So the way that that's changing people's lives is that, as I've said in the beginning, mindset is so key. Whether I believe I can or whether I believe I can't, I'm absolutely right. So it's about building people up, giving them the knowledge, giving them the skills to really be able to believe in themselves, and then giving them the support and the backing to be able to get out there and do what they've always dreamt of. Because I think we know that one of the biggest things that people regret on their deathbed is not doing enough or not following their dreams. So it's about going, do you know what? I don't like something. I don't like the job that I'm doing, or I don't like the way my life is at the moment. So I'm going to actively do something to change it, and I'm actively going to follow my dreams.
Do you have any stories that you'd like to share about how you've helped one of your coaching clients make a real impact in their lives and their business?
Yeah, so I had somebody that was a fantastic baker, really, really skilled, and was always being asked, how do I bake like you, or how do I decorate like you? And they wanted to get into teaching, but they weren't really sure how to do it. So I coached them through all of the kind of technical stuff, and then all of the mindset stuff, as we've spoken about. Absolutely look at all of these comments and all of these likes that you're getting across social media. You're almost doing the world a disservice if you're not getting out there and showing them. So this baker's now gone on to have like a massive following all through the work that we did together. I mean, absolutely, a coach is there to sort of to question and to allow people to grow into who they're supposed to be. So they actually did all of the work, but the kind of reprogramming and the mindset stuff and the have you thought about that and the kind of throwing ideas around was all of the work that we did together. And it's just, I feel like as proud of them as I do with my family. When my clients win, like if they win an award or if they get on telly or, all of these marvelous successes, opening shops, whatever it is, I feel as proud of them as I feel of my family. It's just the most wonderful feeling.
And looking back on your 25-year journey, from making friendship bracelets to millions of pounds worth of cakes, what's one piece of advice you'd give the younger version of yourself just starting out?
Yeah, you're right. So I think I was, 9 or 10 when I started making friendship bracelets door to door, selling them to the neighbours. I think I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I think I still am. I'm still passionate about life. I'm still passionate about entrepreneurship, and I think that the advice that I'd give that 8 or 9-year-old is just keep going, like following your dreams, do something that you love doing until you stop love doing it, and then do something else, because it's all possible.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jenny, for being here. And please share your links on how people can reach you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, which is sweet_as_success. You can find my website, which is sweet-success.com, but obviously they'll be in the show notes anyway. And yeah, I'd love to see you. I'd love you to join the community. It's such a wonderful, fun space, because I think sometimes growing business can be quite lonely and can be a little bit boring sometimes. So I try and make that fun and supportive.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I would love to join.
Thank you so much.
If Jenny's story inspired you to dream bigger and take bold action in your own business journey, be sure to connect with her and explore all the incredible resources she's created at Sweet as Success. Whether you're just starting out or ready to scale your cake business, her proven strategies and supportive community are the perfect place to start. And please subscribe to the Pauline Chilton Show on YouTube so you never miss an episode filled with insight, inspiration, and real conversations about building a business and a life you love. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, we're excited to announce that we'll be hosting in-person events soon. To stay in the loop, visit thepaulineshow.com, join our email list, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're building something special, and we'd love for you to be part of it. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep building, and keep showing up for the life you were meant to lead.